Alrighty, it is time to talk about another DVD. So today we're going to talk about a Spanish film, actually, that feels very much like it's a Spanish-Italian film, I guess, because it has a lot of Italian actors in it as well, but it feels very much like an Italian giallo. So I believe I've said this in another video, but I do love giallo. I love it very much. Big fan. We're definitely going to, I have a lot of those I would love to talk about, and we'll do that at some point in time. I haven't decided how I want to do it just quite yet, but this is where I'm going to start, because I guess this is my first, from what I recall anyway, this is the first, I guess, foreign film that I'm even talking about. But today we are going to talk about Pieces. So a lot of people actually might be, let me move this camera up ever so slightly. This movie, a lot of people actually probably know about this and have heard about it, many times over, because this movie is fairly, it's fairly popular, I would think. So, like I said, it's called Pieces. It is also in Spanish called Mil gritos tiene la noche, which means the night has 1,000 screams, which I actually think that title is really badass, honestly. I kind of wish they would have... Pieces works out, actually for the plot of the movie, which I won't give away, but I just think that title sounds so badass. But this movie was directed by Juan Piquer Simon, and it was released in 1982. This is the Grindhouse releasing edition. I've had this for a while. I actually got this really cheap, especially considering the Blu-ray for this. The Grindhouse released is like a 3-disc Blu-ray, which I would love to have, but it's like $30, and we broke over here, you know what I mean? Like, we just, it's tough, but, if I can find one really cheap, I will absolutely grab it. I'm very selective on the DVDs that I buy, just because, if it's something that it's got to be something I really want. But this version is badass. It's the 2-disc deluxe edition. It is uncensored as far as I'm aware, so, I love the tagline, "You don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre." So, like I said, this one's really badass. I love these Grindhouse DVDs. Usually come with a poster, like so. This is folded up into a poster. I'll show that. Maybe I'll show that one day. I plan on putting them up in here, and then you get some cool artwork behind this, but I won't show it. Leave that so you can be surprised. But I highly recommend this DVD release. Like I said, especially if you can find it cheap. It came out several years ago. But all of Grindhouse, or not all of them, all the ones I have anyway, they've come with those really cool posters, and I love that. Especially if you're going to be paying a little bit for it. Like my copy of Cannibal Holocaust was like $20, and that's always nice to get some extra stuff, extra features, everything like that. We'll talk about that one too. That's a crazy ass movie. But I first heard about this movie actually here on YouTube. So I've been on YouTube, not me personally making videos, but I've had a YouTube account, this YouTube account for a long time, and I'm a big fan of Booger Boy Meister and Cool Duder, Sean C. Phillips from Cool Duder. That was those are some of the first people I ever watched that really talked about DVDs. And I remember Booger Boy Meister in particular talked about this film. He showed it in his DVD collection and said it was a really good chainsaw movie. And I'm a big chainsaw movie kind of guy, so that's kind of how I heard about it. And then I watched it, and I thought it was great. I didn't really, get into it hardcore whenever I was younger, just because, again, it is a foreign film, so it is a little, it's different. It's not a traditional U.S., United States, good old United States slasher, all right, but I think that's actually what makes it a little bit better, to be honest with you. I say it's very, very interesting. But like I said earlier, it is kind of in a way, it's kind of a giallo film, which, if you don't know what a giallo is, it's basically a murder mystery. So someone is going around killing everyone on a college campus in this instance, and killing them with a chainsaw, cutting them into 1,000,000 pieces, and then taking those pieces with him, and I won't say what he's doing with those pieces, but whenever you find out, it's really interesting. And like I said, the whole time you don't really know who the killer is. If you've seen a lot of these, you can probably pick it out pretty quick who it is, but they're, especially because of all the obvious red herrings that are in this. That's the main thing, is a lot of them are very, very obvious. You can tell, you're like, oh yeah, he didn't do it, even though they really want you to make you think that he did. But honestly, when I first saw this, I was genuinely surprised. The first time I ever watched it, I was genuinely surprised with who it ended up being. And it's not a very long movie. It's about an hour and 40 minutes, I believe. So it's fairly short. So it's not anything that you're going to have to delve deeply into and think too hard about. But I do love the plot of this. It's fairly simple. but yet it's very interesting and engaging. The gore effects are great; they're excellent. There's great nudity in this movie. Very, very sleazy movie, which a lot of the giallo and stuff like that were they were fairly sleazy movies. That's kind of why you came to see it, was blood and titties. You know what I mean? But I mean, hell, isn't that all of us really? But anyway, this movie. Like I said, it's the effects are great. It's way more violent than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ever. It's kind of what people describe Texas Chainsaw Massacre as being. You actually do get to see some really nice chainsaw kills, some nice dismemberment, some nice gore, it's great. A lot of great effects. It's really fun to just watch. I hate to say it like this because it sounds morbid, but it is fun to watch these people be murdered with this chainsaw. And just how they did some of these effects. And especially I love the setting. Like I said, it's a college campus. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of horny teenagers running around, doing all kinds of stuff, getting murdered for reasons. And again, like I said, whenever you find out what he's doing with all of the pieces, it's so much fun. And that is one other thing too. I won't spoil it, but I will say that the ending to this movie is amazing. I love it's a kind of a again, without trying to give too much away, it's kind of a Friday the 13th-esque. Which is funny because this one of the kids in this movie, or one of the main guys in this movie, has a Friday the 13th poster on his wall in his bedroom, which I thought was I noticed that one. Piquet or Simone, however you say your name. I noticed that. So there is kind of at the end, there's a bit of a Friday the 13th style jump scare, which I really like. I thought that was great how they did that. It was amazing. It really kind of caught me off guard, and it's very just, for my fellow guys on here, when you see what happens, you're going to be like, oh my goodness gracious. But, I'll definitely rank this one pretty high because I'm a big fan of this movie. Me and my wife just watched it a few days ago. I'll give it I'm going to go ahead and give it I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5 because I really do enjoy this movie. The only complaint I could have is if you don't really like dubbing, which if you don't like bad dubbing, you won't really like a lot of Italian and giallo films. I think that's part of the charm. Me personally, that and the old classic effects. But if you don't like dubbing at all, that may bother you. It's not too bad, in this movie. I've seen much worse. I've seen much worse dubbing. So it's really not bad. But that's the main thing that I hear a lot of people complain about is they hate dubs, which I get it. I mean, I understand, but at the same time, that doesn't detract from the movie, at all, I think it's still a great movie, and honestly, if you're really enthralled in it and you're really paying close attention, to really what's going on screen, from a visual standpoint, you probably won't even really notice, but yeah, like I said, that kind of goes with the territory with a lot of these giallo, these kind of giallo films like this, but yeah, that is Pieces. I highly recommend it. Great chainsaw movie. Cannot recommend it enough. I definitely watch this one if you like gore, if you like nudity, if you like sleaze, if you like giallo films. Like I said, it's not I guess it's not a true giallo film, but it's close enough for me. Damn it, it reminds me of one. You'll really enjoy this. It's a great movie. Like I said, 4.5 out of 5. Can't recommend it enough. I'll give you one more look at the DVD because this DVD copy is great, and it came in like brand new. I was not expecting that. It was absolutely used. I paid $10 for it. So, and that, folks, is why I still buy DVD. It's because you can get them pretty cheap now, and they look just fine. Honestly, sometimes if I watch if I watch an older film on Blu-ray, it's just too clear. You know what I mean? Like, it takes away. I mean, some of them are great. Don't get me wrong. I have, a lot of my, or not a lot of them, but a couple of my old Hammer films are on Blu-ray, and I think they look great. But some of these, like this, in this era and stuff, I don't think that. I'll put it like this: Blu-ray doesn't detract from it, but I see no problem watching it on DVD. I think it looks just fine. It's going to be grainy anyway, and it's an older film. And like I said, I think that just adds to some of the charm. But that's just me personally. But yeah, definitely check out Pieces. I will definitely talk about some more Giallo one of these days. And we'll get there in time. You know, I got a lot of directors I'd like to talk about and a lot of films I'd like to talk about. But absolutely check this one out. So until next time, you guys stay tuned. Thank you for watching if anyone's watching, and have a great day.